Hi, I'm John Palmentary, and we have yet another election interview with our candidate for the 2nd District City Council seat in Santa Barbara. She is Terra Taylor, and Terra's joining us. We're going to ask her 4 questions, the same questions we asked her opponent, and we're giving them about 60 to 90 seconds to answer so that in the end, the total interview is about the same for both of them, and it makes it as fair as possible. I'm not counting the seconds, but we're trying to keep it in that range so you can have that balance. So let's get started with Terra Taylor. And Terra, let's go with our first question here. There are some specific issues in the 2nd District that can have long-term and short-term solutions. How do you look at those, and what's a short-term answer and what's a long-term answer?
Of which specific issue?
Any of them in the district.
Okay. For me, from the perspective of the main reason why I'm running is not really due to any specific incident or issue, because I honestly think that the 2nd District is, doing pretty well, and it really kind of maybe needs more of a hands-off approach. But one of the big issues that compelled me to participate in this election process is the story of Kenneth Fink, and then the idea that we have a community that isn't really working very well together to look out for each other's needs. And I think that with my experience in banking and serving the community, volunteering, and awareness of programs that help with assisting people who maybe have a home that needs to be repaired or dealt with, that we can look to those programs and say, how can we come together as a community to make sure that our community remains beautiful, but that we're supporting each other in that endeavor.
Okay, and the city of Santa Barbara earlier this year said that it had a deficit of about $7 million, maybe a little bit more now. How do you think the city got in this position, and how would you recommend, if elected, that we get out of it?
That's a good question. And as far as how the city got into the problem, it's obviously a lack of communication. Anytime you have an issue where you have budgets that are established and then aren't met, it's a matter where somebody is not communicating to each other and not stopping the bar where it needs to be stopped and saying, hey, you know what, we can't proceed with this because it doesn't fit within the box that we've established. And the idea that there are places where there's such a lack of communication that the budget deficit can actually be seriously overstated, because I know that the early conversations were that it could be as much as $11 million, and then money was found. That's concerning to me. It's something that we need to have a very clear awareness as to where the funds are going and how they're being spent and how we're going to prevent this from happening in the future. And I don't think that continuously raising taxes to offset deficits is the answer. It's really a matter of saying, okay, how are we allocating the funds? Where are the places where we're breaking the barriers of our budget most significantly, and how can we rein that in? What more creative ways can we address these issues, or how can we look to the private community, nonprofits or something, to maybe address some of the issues that we're addressing through government funds, and so that way we're not breaking the budget, and because I feel that's rather a bit of a betrayal of taxpayers.
So we're in a period of time where we know housing costs are high and very challenging in Santa Barbara. We have inflation. We have other issues that just weigh on the public. They speak out about this often. What is your message to the citizens of the 2nd District and the city at large, if you're elected, of hope? What's your message of hope during these pretty heavy times?
I think we have hope already. Heavy times are kind of coming behind us, and now it's recovering from the heavy times that have happened. And so to me, that is the hope. Is here we live in this amazingly beautiful community with history that is relevant to the United States of America, as well as the world. It is a very fascinating place to live and to be part of a community. So that to me is the hope, is how we retain all of this community and culture and work together to ensure that A, it stays great, and B, the places where we can maybe polish up a little bit, we do.
Okay. And then finally, on the city council or any elected body, to get a consensus, either a unanimous decision or even a majority, isn't always that easy. What do you bring to a council like this one, that your style, that could do that, get more of a consensus or a majority on votes?
That's my favorite question. The reason why I like that question so much is because that is what it takes. It takes listening and being open. It should never be about asserting my views on somebody else or even allowing them to assert their views on our community. It's about finding that place in the middle that is the right fit. And sometimes it means that everybody leaves the table feeling a little bit like we didn't get what we want, and that usually means that the community has done best. So my style of communication is when you and I disagree on something, to be frank about it. To be very clear, not confrontational, not argumentative, but this is where we're starting from, and what we want for the community is this, and how can you and I compare our ideas and perspectives and come to a place that's in the best interest for Santa Barbara in the long haul.
Okay, thank you very much. This is Terra Taylor. She is running for the Santa Barbara City Council in the upcoming election in District Number 2, which covers the Mesa and actually goes all the way down and catches the waterfront and up to just the edge of State Street. There's a lot going on in her district, and she'll be on the ballot on November the 5th. This interview and all of our election interviews will be running in their entirety on our website, so click through and listen to some of them for the other candidates as well. And then on election night, we'll have all the results for you. We'll be doing extensive coverage. So I'm John Parliamentary with Terra Taylor, candidate for 2nd District in Santa Barbara City Council, and we'll see you on election night. Thanks for joining us.